Hey guys, welcome to another BAC bow review. My name's Reed, and today we're going over the Prime Nexus 2. Starting off with the specifications of this bow, the Nexus 2 is a 32-inch axle-to-axle bow. It is 341 foot per second, which is one of the fastest bows Prime has ever made. It's got a 6-inch brace height, which is going to be very forgiving. This bow is only 4.25 pounds for a 32-inch bow. That's pretty light, and the draw length goes anywhere from 23 to 30 inches, which will fit a ton of people. And Prime always makes their bows in, I think, 50, 60, 65, 70, and 80-pound max limb weights. So this bow has a lot of really cool features. The first of which is this new grip. It's called the Prime Nano Grip. So this grip is some form of plastic with, it's actually textured. It feels really solid in my hand, but these plates are here as an insulator. Underneath them, they actually put aerogel. Now, aerogel is primarily used by like NASA and other companies as like an insulator. So the goal of the grip, not only is it super comfortable with the plates that they put on here, but it's actually made as a temperature insulator. So if you're getting into the cold late season, you're reaching for your bow, your hand's not super cold, you don't need to have gloves on when you're shooting. For me, I hate shooting with gloves, so that's a big advantage. Another cool thing that they did with this cam system, if you've not seen the Prime dual cam systems before, they've been around for a long time. They redesigned it a little bit so it's much faster this year, and it's also still smooth. But the coolest thing is that now, instead of having to change out the cams, because you imagine how hard this is to change draw lengths, now on their newer ones, all you have to do is rotate a mod and move this cable stop. So it is super easy to change draw lengths now, which as a tech and a guy in the shop, it is awesome to work with. And even on your own, if you want to try different draw lengths, you don't have to order different cams anymore. You can just rotate a mod, which is just a great feature from previous model years. I believe they did this on the Black Series, but they kept it around for the Nexus, and that's just great. Now, the let off on this will go from 65 to 90%. We can fudge it a little bit more either direction if you want. Since it's just one big track, it's technically an infinite adjustment. Now, not only have they done a lot of cool stuff with their cam system, their riser is actually they have a lot of engineering behind that too. So if you see here, they have a swerve in the bottom like you do in the top for the sight window. So the whole goal of that is to minimize knock travel as the riser flexes in the shot. Believe it or not, even though most risers are made of metal or some that are made out of carbon or compounds, they actually bend a lot during the shot cycle while you're practicing. So the way they engineered this swerve is to be as symmetrical as possible. This bow is perfectly balanced at the grip, so again, it holds super stable. The whole goal of the Prime bow is to minimize knock travel as much as possible. And they do that in a couple ways between the way the riser is engineered, like I just said, but also again with this cam system, this big cable splitter and the splitter for the dual cam here, you're equalizing limb pressure as much as possible. So you have no tilt, and that knock is staying perfectly straight the whole way out of the bow, or at least as straight as possible. Now, as far as tuning features for this bow, they do give you a shim kit for the cams to shim either direction in the bag with the manual when you purchase the bow. I've never actually had to use a shim kit in tuning these bows, but it's still available if you do need that extra little bit. For me, at least the ones I've sold here in the shop, we throw the rest on and they bullet hole almost out the box. It's crazy. I've never had to play with shim. Now, what I have had to do before, the other tuning method they give you is called the Flexus AR. So this is a flexing roller guard for your cables. Now you can change the tension on this arm, so you can basically adjust how close these cables get to the arrow as it comes out, and you can ease tension or tighten the tension on these cables to play with that. And that's going to be your primary tuning mechanism for this bow. Alright guys, we made it to the point of the video where I start talking about my opinions and some of our testing here at the shop. So this bow in our testing, what we like to do is do a speed comparison that's a little more realistic than an IBO setting, because if you don't know, the IBO standard for bows is a 350 grain arrow, which is super light at like 70 pounds and 30-inch draw. It's kind of unrealistic. So we like to put it through at 29 inches, which is pretty average for the guys who shoot here, and 60 pounds with a 450 much heavier hunting weight arrow. And this bow actually averaged out at 283, so it's actually really fast, especially considering it's still 60 pounds. That's easily 10 foot per second faster than a lot of the other bows we've tested. And we'll throw all that comparison up on the screen here, some of the chronograph shots. You know, this cam system, it's just crazy stable. It is one of the fastest ones Prime's ever made. This whole dual track cam is awesome. My favorite part about it is Prime, you used to have to change the whole cam to when it changed the draw length. And in the past 2 years with the Black Series bows and now the Nexus series, you can change your draw length from 23 to 30 inches without ever changing your cam, which is awesome. I can't stress enough how much better that is and how big of an improvement it is. The last thing I wanted to mention about this bow, primes in general, they haven't been the quietest bow around. So this bow it's not super loud, but it is noticeably a little bit louder than some other brands we have. Now that comes from partly, you have twice as much string hitting twice as much cam when it comes back when you're shooting. So you have more, I guess you could say string noise or string slap. And that just comes from having twice as much material. And that can be taken care of pretty easily just by throwing on a couple string silencers. So it might drop you down a foot per second or maybe 2 depending on what type of silencer you use. But this bow, probably my only complaint is that it is a little bit louder than some of the other bows we've had in the shop. So wrapping up this video, guys, this bow is going to be best for people who, honestly, if you really like to shoot target and hunt with it, this bow is going to be really stable even in its shorter 32-inch axle. So if you like to go to 3D competitions and things like that, and you don't want to have to swap to a completely new bow for every competition, and you just want to use your setup year round, this would be awesome because it's going to be fast, it's a good size for hunting, and at the same time, it's so stable. You can use it for target too. So it's just a great platform for that all-around use. And they make the taller versions if you want a specific bow for target, but the Nexus 2 in particular would be great for hunting out of a tree stand, and also great for those of you who want to get into a little bit of 3D shooting on the side as well. Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and we'll see you in the next one.